Time now for our Gravitas vaccine tracker. There is a lot of buzz around the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. The efficacy results were announced today. In India, it is being called Covishield, and experts say this vaccine could be a crucial milestone in the fight against the Wuhan virus. There are a lot of questions that emerge now. Who has developed this vaccine? How does it work? How effective is it? How much does it cost? And when can you and I access it? We try and answer these questions in the next 5 minutes. Starting with the vaccine, who has developed it? AstraZeneca, a Swedish-British multinational pharmaceutical company. They have developed the vaccine along with the University of Oxford. The work is said to have started months ago. The Jenner Institute at the University of Oxford have reportedly been working on it ever since the 2014 Ebola outbreak. The researchers feared another epidemic was only waiting to happen. In January 2020, the first cases of the disease were reported, and by April, the scientists knew what they were dealing with and what needed to be done here. Listen to this.
And because we started in April, we've been following people after vaccination for a very long period of time. And with so many people, it's difficult to think of a good way of expressing this or the amount of follow-up there's been. But if you just add all of those months together of follow-up that we have, we're now at about 6,000 years of follow-up, if you were to include all of the people. So it's a huge amount of data.
On to the second question here. How does the vaccine work? To answer this, let me begin from the manufacturing process. Scientists working on the vaccine took genes from the spike protein on the surface of the coronavirus. They then put these genes into a harmless, weakened version of a common virus, which causes cold in chimpanzees. The same technology was used to produce vaccines for Zika and MERS. The virus is genetically modified, so it does not grow once inside the body. How exactly does the vaccine kill the virus then? The vaccine enters cells which then start to produce the coronavirus spike protein. This induces an immune response. It prompts the immune system to produce antibodies and activate killer T cells to destroy the infected cells. If the patient catches the virus again, the antibodies and T cells are triggered to fight the virus. Here's the advantage for low and middle income countries now. Unlike the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine, the Oxford vaccine shot can be kept at refrigerator temperatures.
First of all, it's a vaccine that can be stored at fridge temperature for longer periods. It's a vaccine that has high effectiveness in one of the dosage regimes that have been tried out. 50,000 volunteers, I was just checking my notes, have been involved in developing it. And according to the reports we've seen, there aren't major safety challenges.
Now, the effectiveness of the vaccine depends on the doses, the question of how effective will the vaccine be. One regimen proved it to be 90% effective in preventing COVID-19 when administered as a half dose. Another regimen showed 62% efficacy when given as 2 full doses. The combined analysis from both the dosings or both the dosing regimens resulted in an average efficacy of 70%.
Intriguingly, it has an overall efficacy in our trials of 70%. But when we look into the data a bit further, in the 2 different dosing regimes we used, one of the dosing regimes has 90% efficacy and the other one has 62% efficacy. And the higher efficacy regime is better tolerated, and also there's a hint that it may have an impact on asymptomatic infection and therefore possibly transmission of the virus.
Question number 4, how much does the vaccine cost? AstraZeneca has made a no-profit pledge. It plans on selling the vaccine to governments at a price of around 3 to 4 euros, that is close to 260 Indian rupees. The Pune-based Serum Institute of India is expected to get the emergency approval to sell the vaccine. The CEO of Serum Institute, Mr. Adar Poonawalla, says the company might sell a 2-shot vaccine for around 500 to 600 rupees for the general public. This is based on reports. There is no final word on the price of the vaccine. The next question, when can you access the vaccine? The CEO of AstraZeneca, Pascal Soriot, says that large-scale vaccination could happen by the end of this year, but it all depends on whether full trial results support the optimism from the early findings and if the developers can satisfy global regulators. So when exactly can India expect the vaccine then? Reports say that India might get its first lot of this vaccine by the end of January and early February next year. That is barely 2 months from now. The Serum Institute of India has said that it will focus on supplying the vaccine to Indians before distributing it in other countries. We will be tracking these developments very closely.